What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. And in today's video we're here with the top 15 pound for pound most exciting unranked fighters in the sport today, in celebration or recognition I should say of this card's couple fights that took place. Just some absolute bangers, back to back fight of the year contenders between Esteban Ribovics and Elvis Brener, followed by Mateusz Rebecki versus Duncan. Even Vallejos versus Danny Silva was a fucking scrap. So we've been having some sick fights recently, and a lot of them have actually been in the unranked portion of the sport. And overall, honestly, some of the best fights in the sport can actually be found on like the prelims of an Apex card, or the prelims of a fight night, or a pay-per-view with two unranked guys who are honestly fighting harder than these dudes getting paid 500 to show, like 500k to show. So yeah, this is what we're recognizing. We're recognizing the low-key bangers, like just the guys who just be entertaining every time out, even if they're not going to ever be champion, even if they're not going to be and for, like, I will differentiate. There is an element of just like, this is the most exciting. This is not purely like the fighters that get into the most wars. Like, there is an element of like, there will be guys on here who are quick finishers, who are prospects, I guess. These are just, in my opinion, the 15 most exciting fighters outside of the rankings to watch. I'm going to do honorable mentions, so before you say, oh, how'd you forget this guy, how'd you forget this guy, wait until the end of the video and then leave your fucking anger, hate comments because I forgot your favorite 72 ranked fucking bantamweight prospects. Like, just chill. Anyway though, like, subscribe, leave a comment, all that shit, and let's get into the video. So, to start off, number 15. Also, I'm going to do 15 and then champ, by the way. So, there's technically 16 fighters. But number 15, Malcolm Wellmaker. One of the most exciting prospects of bantamweight right now. Again, I'll wait until the end of the video to actually say who I didn't put in, just so there's not as much of a spoiler, I guess. But Malcolm Wellmaker, I think so far through two fights, his Contender Series fight, this man is just spamming left hooks, which is always exciting. Like, I think you kind of deserve a place on the list when you've finished 3 straight fights with the same fucking move. Like, identical. Like, you really can't differentiate the finish apart from, like, how he set it up. But, like, 3 right hook KOs in a row, face down, is pretty fucking crazy. Like, they haven't been all just flatline KOs, but they've been as fucking close as you can get. The Simon was pretty much a KO. Like, it got stopped as he hit the grounds. But, you know, Malcolm Wellmaker, I should say, really entertaining striker. He's not quite the high volume output guy that O'Malley was on the come up, to where you're really going to get the clip farming moments and the in-between. You're kind of just there for the KO is what we're seeing so far. But he's a very fun fighter, and you know when you're watching him fight a can, he's going to fucking lay them out. We're still yet to see him versus someone actually good, so that'll be interesting. Like, Simon, do we consider him good? I don't know. But like, the guy who fought on Contender was alright. But like, Chris Matinho, like, I'm gonna need you to beat, if he flatlines and then goes out there and like sleeps like an Adrian Yanez or something, or goes out there and sleeps like a Jonathan Martinez, like, alright, now I change my opinion from this guy as like yeah, he'll be ranked, but I don't think he'll be like top 5, to like, if he goes out there and like flatlines a good striker, a guy who doesn't often get KO'd, like, now we're talking top 5 as the ceiling. Anyway though, let's move on. Next up, Gregory Rodriguez. I was debating putting him on here. Again, there's so many guys that I like tossed and turned with if I wanted to put him in the list or not. I had to land on 15. You can't do a top 15 list with 27 people unless you're talking about a Lucas Tracy GOAT list. But I had to stick it to 15. That's what I did, or 16 technically with the champ. But Gregory Rodriguez, one of the most entertaining fighters in the upper weight classes today. I will give you a spoiler. There is no one at heavyweight and there is no one at light heavyweight. So yeah, Robocop is one of the only entertaining middleweight or above fighters in the sport right now outside the rankings. The outside the rankings portion looks pretty fucking bleak. Again, there's some guys who won't be included maybe because I haven't seen enough from them, or they're a bit inconsistent. Like, sometimes they'll absolutely turn up a barn burner. Sometimes they'll be mid. Robocop is pretty consistently entertaining. Like, the CLD fight was not overly exhilarating, but the Cannonier fight was sick. He fucking murdered Jack Hermanson. The Junyoung Park fight was sick. The Chidin Jokawani fight was sick. The Bruno Ferreira fight, you know, goes out on his shield, gets KO'd. Like, this man has been in scraps, he's been in wars, he's been KO'd, he's KO'd. He's just always just there for the fight, there for the fire. and it's always, you know, someone's getting finished. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, Trevor Peek. Now, Peek has an argument to be higher up on the list in terms of, like, if we're just looking at purely how retarded and entertaining he fights, he's definitely more fun than a few of the other guys, but I do need there to be, like, an element of technique when I'm watching, and also, I need you to be good enough where you can't just get neutralized, and if you lose, it's boring. Because, like, Trevor Peek, if he's winning, it's really fun, and he can still put up a fun scrap even if he's losing on the feet, but, like, he's grappleable, people can take him down and hold him there, like, the Schmuz fight was not particularly entertaining. The Charlie Campbell fight was very good at moments. It had moments where he kind of just got held down. So, Peek could be higher if this dude was just in stand-up fights the entire time. Also, just going to say, this man took Muhammad Yahya to a decision. I'm just thinking in hindsight, that's an awful look. Like, no one views Trevor Peek as a contender. I think he's cutting to featherweight now. But this dude is so fun. Like, he just throws hammer fists. He's retarded. It's incredible. But I can't put him higher than this on the list. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, Manuel Torres. One of Mexico's most exciting best fighters outside the rankings right now. You know, Daniel Zalhuba. I can't put him on here. He's just mid too much of the time. Like, he will scrap when you give it to him and make him, like Ribovics did, like Prado did. But at times he's just too rangy and too, like, non-aggressive. But Torres is always going for it, and he'll go out on the shield. He'll get KO'd by fucking Ignacio Bahamondes in the first round. Or he'll KO you. Like, that elbow on Nicolas Motto was nasty. The KO on Dober was nasty. This dude's finishing potential is fucking crazy. He subbed Chris Duncan, which is fucking aging really well, dude. Like, I just realized that. Shout out to Manuel Torres. This dude packed up Chris Duncan in a round. Like, just subbed him. Chris Duncan's the dude who's subbing everyone else. He's just subbed Chris Duncan. I know he beat Rabecki by decision, but, like, Rabecki, like, we can do so much MMA math here, and you can kind of be like, okay, stylistic matchups. But, like, let's just think about this. Rabecki fucking whooped up on Oralbai for a lot of that fight, beat him, right? Rabecki's got a win over Oralbai. Oralbai's beaten, like, everyone else that he's fought. Like, Oralbai's looking unbeatable, subbing dudes in around, you know, all this. And, what's it called? Rabecki just lost to Duncan. Manuel Torres subbed Duncan in the first round. Like, I know it's different stylistic matchups, and I know he got KO'd by Ignacio. I thought he fought incredibly retarded there. I really do believe if Torres does fight smart, he has the potential to be a ranked fighter. But I think he might just get a bit too crazy. And Torres is Bahamondes is a difficult stylistic matchup for him with the range. He's like a guy who actually outranges him. But his finishing potential is crazy. He's going to get cracked. Like, that's going to happen. He gets tagged. But his finishing potential, even by submission, is nasty. Again, I'm still, like, this is, like, a genuine people forget, man. How many of you guys remembered that Manuel Torres subbed Chris Duncan in, like, a minute and a half? I need to double check this. But, like, that's a fucking impressive ass win. Manuel Torres. Like, I like Torres, dude. He's cool. I hope they get him on the no-check card, because that card is dog shit. But yeah, apart from the Bahamondes fight, he's 30 years old, so he's still got some time. Again, I'm not thinking he's top 5 or anything like that in his future, but he can definitely give some of these guys around that 10 to 15 and unranked range troubles. Like, he really can. He's been subbed twice himself, but yeah, like, subbed Chris Duncan in a minute 46. KO'd Nicolas Motto in a minute 50. KO'd Drew Dober in a minute 45. This dude is a finisher of the highest order. Hasn't left the first round since, you want to know when? 2018 was his last fight. 2018, that's nuts. His last fight that started the second round was in 2018. Manuel Torres is dope. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, Hyder Amil. This dude is a marauder. Hyder Amil is a top-tier peak marauder. It got him KO'd in his last fight, but this dude is still incredibly fun. The run he's been on, though, like, this man made William Gomis fun. This man forced William Gomis to actually fucking be aggressive somewhat and throw punches. And, like, is he good, Hyder Amil? Not particularly. Like, did he kind of fucking lose that fight to William Gomis and win a robbery decision? Sure. Is he 35? Yes. But, like, still, this dude's dope. Like, he's fun as hell. Great chin for the most part. I know he just got KO'd, but he was undefeated before that. Whooped up on Fernie Garcia, KO'd Zhang Yang Lee with, like, a 40-punch fucking combination. Made William Gomis fun, you know. took a scrap to Delgado and came out worse, but you know, it's chill. This dude's fun as hell. I love Hyder Amil. Anyway, you can argue with the order. As a general rule, it's like 10 to 15 is kind of a range, 5 to 10's a range, and then top 5 you can kind of move any of those around, in my opinion. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, Jose Delgado. Let me tell about this kid, Jose Delgado. Kid's a fucking savage. Through 2 UFC fights, 2 round 1 KOs. I'm loving Jose Delgado. This dude's looking fun as hell. Now, again, could you argue, and I debated with some of these guys, because there are some people that I sort of disqualified based on lack of, like, it's kind of inconsistent as fuck. So maybe I shouldn't have put him on here. Maybe I should have set a guidelines for, like, you can't be on here if you have less than a certain amount of fights. But I feel like that's kind of dumb. Because, like, if you're proving yourself, like, if I have concerns, like, if you're getting finishes, that doesn't necessarily mean you're on here. It's the way he's getting the finishes, though. 26-second knee KO over Amil, undefeated guy. He's 27, up and coming. Got all 10 of his wins by finish, 6 by KO, 4 by submission. Coming off 5 straight TKO wins as well, so he's kind of submitting people earlier in his career. His one loss is to a bloke named Chris McKate. That was back in 2023, but since then he's stayed active. That guy's a 12-2 fighter, by the way, so not a bum, obviously. And a guy that's on a 5-fight win streak right now as well. So, yeah, like, Jose Delgado, one, I have high hopes for him. I think he can definitely be a top 15, top 10 guy in the future. But also just in general, he's fun as hell. He goes for it. He's aggressive. People shy away from the scrap against Amil. People back up. He met him head on and fucking won the exchange and KO'd him with a knee. So, yeah, Delgado's fun as fuck. Anyway, let's keep it moving if my fucking thing will load. Anyway, let's move on. Nate the Train Landwehr. This dude's just been a long time, like, not long time, but like this decade, like 2020s onwards, he's just been providing some fucking heaters, dude. The Onama fight was incredible. Again, he's been on the end of some fucking KOs, you know, that he just had a crazy fight with Morgan Charrier. Like, Nate Landwehr is awesome. No one's ever thought he's very good. No one's ever thought he's going to be, like, ranked caliber. He got a shot at the rankings against Dan Ige. He lost. It's chill. He's just here to scrap and give us fun fights, and the Onama win has actually aged well, because Onama's now ranked somehow. But let me look up the record of Nate Landwehr. He's 18-7. 5 of his losses are by finish, but again, he goes out on the sword. Like, he got finished by Charrier, he got finished by Doohoo Choi, he got a sick KO over Jamal Emmers. The Ige fight was nothing to sneeze at. The Austin Lingo fight, he got a sub. Onama fight was one of the best fights of the year. The Ludovic Klein fight, he got a submission in the 3rd round. Julian Erosa got KO'd in a minute. Darren Elkins fight was fun. Herbert Burns, he got KO'd in a minute. Like, he's just been doing things and just been having fun. And even before the UFC, like, he was having some scraps with, like, Russian dudes on the regional scene, fighting over in, like, Russian promotions, against some scary sounding names. But yeah, Nate Landwehr, 37 years old, definitely on the very back end of the career, but I'm sure we'll see a few more scraps out of him before he calls it a day. Anyway, let's move on. Terrance McKinney. Now, if you want barn burners and prolonged scraps and fight of the contenders, don't knock on Terrance McKinney's door. Don't call his phone. But if you want quick finishes and you want that ad break to fucking go for another 20 minutes, that's the only negative that's the only bad thing, the bad word I'll have to say about Terrance McKinney is, you know you're getting a fucking 20-minute ad read after his fights, because they're all ending in fucking 25 seconds, and then they got to run ads for the rest of the prelims. Can we please only put this man on cards when there's like 8 prelims? Like, and they need to fit in like 8 prelims in a 3-hour spot, so like, he gets a finish and just interview, bang, get him out the way, get the next fight going. But like, this man has never been to a decision through 24 fights. That's insane. I thought he lost the decision, sorry. But no, he finish or get finished. Literally, the day that I parlay McKinney fight to not go decision and it fails, it's going to be incredible. Like, I won't even be like mad, I'll just be shocked. Like, let me read off this dude's body of work in the UFC, because he's been doing work. Comes in with a 7-second KO over Matt Frivola. Sub-Ziam in the 1st round. KO'd by Dober in that crazy fight where he almost killed him in like 10 seconds, and then Dober motivated himself to come back and told McKinney to stop resisting, you know. Subbed Gonzalez in a round. Got KO'd by Bonfim in the second. Crazy. Got subbed by Sadykhov in the second. And then minute 25 KO over Mike Breeden. 20-second KO over Brenner Moreau. 37-second KO loss to Ribovics. 2-minute win over Hadzovic. 55-second win over Borshev. Like, this man is not beating anyone good. I'd say his best win on the resume, aged, like, in terms of, like, hindsight-wise, is definitely the Ziam win, because that's looking phenomenal now. But he's just, like, you can't predict it. Like, he might... I'm waiting for the day where we actually get McKinney versus, like, someone good, and he's just flukes a finish early. Like, because, like, if you put him in there against, like, fucking Rabecki, he probably loses, but, like, who's to say he might not just fucking flash KO Rabecki? Like, I'm not saying he would or I'd pick it, but, like, that's the thing with McKinney, is you just can't be confident picking his fights. Because he can sub you, he can get subbed, he can KO you, he can get KO'd. So the only really safe bet is just fight to not go decision. So hopefully the UFC just never pairs him against some lay and pray grappler. But yeah, McKinney's one of the most exciting fighters in the sport consistently. You can always back on him to bring some excitement back to the card. Like on on 317, like the card was kind of mid. You know, we were running through fucking Elvin, Gunzi, Hines, and Jacoby Smith failing to fucking look good as a minus 1500 favorite. And then he gets a minute sub, and then apart from Cortez, we get like that card picked up after that, excluding Cortez, because the fight after that, Delgado KO'd Amil in 26 seconds. The fight after that, fucking Hermansson died, and then we got that main card, which was dope. So like, I swear to God, McKinney like brings energy to cards, and it's just like you're kind of on the edge of your seat anytime you watch him, because you're like, he's about to die or he's about to kill someone. And usually if it exits the first, is when he's the one that dies. Like, he can die in the first two, don't get me wrong, but you kind of know he's prone to a KOing, if he leaves the first. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, Ateba Gautier. Now, another case where, again, like, it's early, but this is, like, with some guys, I'm like, okay, you're getting some early finishes because you're fighting bums. I don't think it continues in a bit. Like, if you can keep finishing guys, we'll talk. With Gautier, it's like, okay, yes, you've only really finished cans, but also, it's not a style that I see just deteriorating and stopping. Like, this is not a game plan that I see failing to work in his next few fights. He's going to do the same damn thing to fucking Ozzy Diaz and KO him in a minute, and then he's going to do the same damn thing to his fucking next opponent, and he's probably only going to really need to put in anything other than just, like, swinging in the first minute of the fight once he gets to, like, the top 30. Like, once he gets to, like, I'm pretty sure he could just eyes closed KO swing his way to, like, a win over Rodolfo Vieira. Like, Vieira's takedowns are dog shit. Like, Gore, I refuse to believe Gore is some defensive wrestling maestro. I genuinely just think Vieira's shit at takedowns. His jiu-jitsu is great. Takedowns are dog shit. Like, I just at this point would be convinced he could beat, like, half the guys outside like, pretty much everyone outside the rankings just via power maxing. Like, he KOs Gastelum, in my opinion. I think he hits harder than Python. Anyway, let's move on, though, to the next fighter. Next up, Nazim Sadykhov. Now, this man is really putting his name out there as one of the most exciting guys outside the lightweight rankings and outside the rankings in general in the sport today. Because this man hasn't missed in his UFC career, like, in terms of fun. Like, the Borshev draw has not aged particularly well, but, like, that was just a fucking scrap. He's on a 10 fight I think 11 fight unbeaten streak. Maybe it's 12 actually. I think it's 12 unbeaten, 11 fight wins, like 11 wins in a row if you include the draw in a row. And then so he got subbed in his first fight, but like UFC career, fucking one of the best fights, probably number 2 fight of the year for me, or number 2 or 3. I'd say for me my top 3 right now is Royval Van, Rabecki Duncan, and then this, Sadykhov Mota, and then probably 4 is Ribovics Brenner, and then 5 is probably... 5's a debate. 5's a convo. Like, do you want to go with, like, what do we even go with? I don't know. What's 5? Let me know, because to me that's the top 4 right now. I put up a poll. I forgot about Sadykhov. I just kind of went recency bias. I put fucking Holland D-Rod in there, which was incredibly fun, but it was just shit. But what's your top 5 fights of the year so far? Let me know, because I'd say this is 2 or 3 on most. I think Van Royval's a pretty unanimous number 1. I think this is number 2 on most people's list. But before that, TKO'd Bonfim, doctor stoppage, but round 1 finish. One of the best fights of the year with Vyacheslav Borshev. Subbed McKinney in the second in a comeback win. Underrated fight. If you don't know, now you know. Kid, go back and rewatch that fucking fight with Evan Elder. That's what I'm telling you. This was on a random fucking Apex card, bro. This was on Andrade vs. Blanchfield Apex card. It ended in a doctor stoppage. Elder was low-key winning this shit. And this is why, like, I don't think Sadykhov's going to be like a top 10 guy, but he's improving and he's got the offense, but I think his defense in terms of striking and grappling is a little bit worrying. But go back and rewatch his fight with Evan Elder. That shit was fucking incredible. And also shout out to him because he KO'd Ahmed the pedophile Hassanzada. And that's not me, like, just making a joke. Like, the man's a pedophile. He got convicted of... I don't know if he's been convicted yet, so I'll say allegedly for now. But look at his face, look at his name, and look at the crime he's accused of, and you can fucking make your judgment. Anyway, let's move on, though, to the next fighter. Drew Dober. Now, for a while, this man might have been number 1. Like, Drew Dober might have been the biggest, like, the best action, like, get-or-get-got fighter that you've seen in the sport. Because we all know about racially motivated Dober. That was an ongoing thing, which still hasn't been proven wrong, by the way. Because Manuel Torres, Gene Silva, and Matt Frivola, and Islam Makhachev, and Brad Riddell, as far as I'm concerned, they got one thing in common. It's a lack of melanin. So I still think we need the Michael Johnson fight, you know. I don't see why that's not the fight to make. I don't see why a Bobby Green rematch is not the fight to make. I don't see why we can't give this dude Balajioki and just for science, just test things out, you know. But Drew Dober, like, this man's gone, like, I don't remember, like, he's had, like, one boring-ish fight, and the Moicano fight was not that good, but that was him getting held down the whole time. But, like, or not the whole time, but for most of it. But when this man's on the feet, it's carnage. It's get or get got. He's either fucking sleeping you or getting slept. And you'd be like, oh, Dober getting slept, because it's like, he had the iron chin for so long, but it's like, 4 of his losses are by, or not all of his losses are getting slept, but like 4 losses by KO, 4 by sub. He gets finished a fair bit, 7 by decision. He goes out on his sword. He's 1 and 3 in his last 4, which is tough. But like KO'd by Matt. Again, if we're going back in order, Torres, Gene Silva, those were both sick fights. Or the Torres, he kind of just got killed, but the Gene fight was sick on short notice. Moicano fight was cool. Ricky Glenn KO'd him. Frivola got KO'd. That Bobby Green fight was sick. The Rafael Alves fight was sick. The McKinney fight was nuts. Riddell fight was a scrap. He got subbed by Islam. That's whatever. The Hernandez fight by KO. Nasrat by KO. Marco Reyes by KO. Subbed by Benil. Like, he's just been going for it and just getting finishes. Or getting finished. And watching Drew Dober has just always been an action fight for fucking ever. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, Kevin Vallejos. Now, I might be putting him too high, and he hasn't really given us just, like, 10 fucking scraps. Like, he hasn't just given us fight of the year contender after fight of the year contender. But he's just already so fun to watch, dude. Like, you watch Vallejos, that fight with Danny Silva, and tell me this dude isn't dope. He KO'd that fucking random Korean in a minute. He KO'd in, like, a round. He KO'd that random contender series anorexic fucking Ranger, redhead, whatever. KO'd him in like 2 minutes. But like, just the fight with, I don't care, bro. The fight with Gene Silva like 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, has done enough for me to just be like, yeah, we ain't seen it yet, but I'm gonna just give it to him. Like, this dude's one of the most fun fighters outside the rankings we got. One of the best prospects in the featherweight division by far. Kevin Vallejos. If you don't know, now you know. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, Elvis Brener. Shout out Elvis Brener, dude. I love this guy. Like, I've picked against him in most of his fights because, again, I don't think he's particularly good. But he still hung in there with Esteban Ribovics and gave him a scrap and arguably won the second round. Like, he got out-volumed, he got out-damaged, he lost the fight pretty clearly, but, like, dude, can it live? Like, can we give this man a fucking Anshul Jubilee matchup, bro? Like, can we give this man a fucking... can we give this man a Yanal Ashmuz fight? Like, can we just give him a winnable matchup? Like, UFC lightweight rankings. I'm gonna pick Elvis Brener's next fight right now. Because, like, dude, this dude's gone through the fucking ringer. Like, Zubaira Tukhugov is not particularly good, but still, like, that's a tough debut on short notice. He then gets Garam and gets, like, that was one of my favourite fights of 2023. Because the comeback in that was nuts. Like, the comeback and just the epic build, that fight was so fun. Like, go back and rewatch that. Another fight wasted in the Apex. But, like, let me just, before I continue, I'll continue now. Then he KOs Kaynan Krzyzewski, whatever. Kaynan's a bum. That's what we wanted. Like, give him guys like that, he gets finishes. Then he gets Maiturbek Orolbai, who's coming off one of the most fucking, like, terrifying debuts ever. And he's just subbed Uros Medic and tossed him around and fucking almost ripped his head off his shoulders. And then he said, yeah, you know what? I just ragdolled this welterweight. I'm cutting to 55. Proven to not be able to fucking make weight, clearly. But, and then this man gets Joel fucking Alvarez, dude. He fights in May, June, July, August. This man gets Joel Alvarez on a 3-month turnaround and gets fucking butchered. Like, Joel Alvarez would be, like, top 3 on this list if he wasn't ranked, but he is number 15 at lightweight, so if anyone's asking. But, like, Elvis Brener, let's give this man a matchup. Like, can we give this man, like, the winner of, like, Mason Jones versus Balagioki? Can we give this man a Gabriel Green fight? Like, can we give this man Mahashate? Can we give this man a Borshev fight, bro? Like, Kurt Holobar, Rong Zhu, you know, Markel Medeiros, like, fucking Austin Hubbard, Evan Elder, like, Cody Steele, bro. Like, I'm just naming names. Give him Trevor Peek, I don't care. Like, Austin Hubbard. Can we give this man Darius Flowers? Can we give this man Mark Choinsky, bro? Can we give this man Mateusz Camillo? I'm just going down. Kyle Prepper, like, that's the fight. On that Vancouver card or whatever. Vancouver, Montreal. I don't fucking know which soy-ass Canadian city that's in. But can we give Elvis Brener vs. Kyle Prepper? I need this man to, like, get a win. Because I cannot have this man fight, like, God forbid they give this dude, let me think. Like, what would the UFC do? Like, God forbid they give him Sadykhov next. Or, like, fucking Zellhuber next. Because they booked him against Zellhuber. I think he could beat him. But, like, even if he could beat him, can we not give him, like, a McKinney? Like, let's just not do that, bro. Let's not even give him, like, a Nicholas Motta. Like, dude, can we just rest his chin for, like, a little bit? Like, can we give him Jubilee, genuinely? Like, can we just find someone who, like, Alex Reyes, literally the number 88 ranked lightweight on rankingmma.com. That's the fight. Like, Mitch Ramirez, bro. Like, I just want to see Elvis Brener get back in the win column. Because I don't want to see this guy take another loss to a top fucking 25 lightweight. Like, can we not give this dude, like, CDF or some shit next? Like, don't give him some unwinnable fucking fight and then cut him because he's on a 4-fight loss streak. Because that's just mean. Anyway, though, let's move on. Next up, Mauricio Ruffy. Ruffy's one of the most entertaining fighters in the sport right now. He's one of the most skilled guys outside the rankings. He's about to go fight BSD in a month's time. He's going to fucking knock his head off his shoulders. I genuinely believe he's going to do bad things to Benoit Saint-Denis. I left a comment under Lucas's video. Lucas dropped a video saying, BSD vs Ruffy's closer than you think. I just top comment farmed. I just put simply 3 words. Stage 1, denial. 2 words and a number, more accurately. But that's all I put. I think I'm like over 1,000 likes on that comment. I'm like the top comment on Lucas's video. Just for saying stage 1 denial. But I think, yeah, Ruffy's going to kill BSD. But this dude hasn't been boring so far. Like, the closest you could say to boring was the fucking James Lontop fight. Because he just beat him up and then gassed a little bit. But that Malarkey fight was fucking so fun to watch, like, how he just picked him apart. The wheel kick over Bobby Green, obviously. Like, he's got, like, probably one of the cleanest performances, like, one of the cleanest debuts you'll ever see. One of the cleanest, like, wheel kick knockouts you'll ever see. And then just overall, just kind of target practice against a dude who's not going to get knocked out and miss weight by 10 pounds. Like, he was originally booked to fight Charlie Campbell on that card last year, on that Jones-Stipe card. If those shots that he's landing on Lontop, he's absolutely flatlining Charlie Campbell, by the way, just so you know. And we're not talking about, but he went decision and lost the 3rd. We're talking about, damn, bro, he just flatlined that guy. Anyway, let's move on. Mateusz Rebecki, again, another guy that just fought this weekend. And speaking, obviously, previously of Brenner as well. But Mateusz Rebecki is so fun. Like, this dude's just dope. He's actually retarded, and he cost me a bunch of money. So, like, I should be more mad because I'm up like $400 on this card if Rebecki had won that shit. So I'm low-key fucking pissed off at this dude, but it's so good, bro. I forgive you. That fight was dope. I should not have trusted you that much. Like, that's my fault. Because, like, again, this dude's got midget arms. He can't fight behind a jab, and he kind of just has to maraud his way into range. So he kind of does be getting picked apart by, like, everyone he fights. But he's so dope. Like, this dude's on a crazy streak. Like, the guy I'm about to talk about at number one or / champion, like, I'm calling Mateusz Rebecki the number one ranked contender for most entertaining guy outside the rankings right now. He's got to take it from the champ, and I really hope we see that fight at some point. Not next, but some point. It's got to happen. And I think you guys know who I'm talking about, obviously. But Rebecki's on a crazy streak. Like, if we're looking performances, Rajdabov KO, Roosevelt Roberts, I should say, submission, and then he fights fucking, what's the kid's name? CD. He was booked to fight Joel Alvarez, by the way. Hindsight 2020. Everyone was picking Rebecki to beat Alvarez. Hindsight 2020, Joel Alvarez would have fucking murdered Mateusz Rebecki. Like, killed him. KO'd him. Badly. Pieced him up. Like, domination. And that's not glaze. Tell me I'm wrong. That when that fight was booked, Rebecki was minus 400. I remember the odds. Those things stick in my head. Rebecki was minus 400, and I said, these odds are dumb as hell. Like, Joel Alvarez has a 9-inch reach advantage. He's gonna fucking piece this dude up. But regardless, he gets out of that one, or maybe it was Alvarez who pulled out. Or I think he had visa issues. But he then fights CDF, gets kind of tuned up, but sick fight overall. Great comeback. He dropped him early. Then he goes and fights Oral by another sick fight. Fucking top 3 fights of the year. Top 2 for me. Ribovics and Zellhuber won that for me. That was number 2. Holloway Gaethje number 3. Don't know how that fucking unanimously won fight of the year, but all good. And then he goes and has this scrap with fucking Chris Duncan. Just another dope fight. Like, he's got undoubtedly 2 back-to-back top 3 fights of the year. All by Rebecki is no doubt about it. You can't even argue top 3. Like, you can argue number 1 or 2. You can't argue it's lower than 3. Like, tell me 3 fights that were better than this in 2024. You can't. And then tell me 3 fights that have been better than this year. I don't think you can. You can name 1. You can maybe name 2. But yeah, Rebecki is so fun. Anyway, let's move on. So, some honourable mentions, again, before we get to the number 1 spot, or the champion, I should say, just so that you guys don't be like, you forgot this guy, you forgot this guy. No, I didn't forget them. If I actually did forget someone, let me know. Let me know in the comments. I'll tell you if I forgot to mention them even in these honourable mentions. Because I had a list of about... I was looking through the rankings, kind of just thinking in my head, being like, alright, who have I forgot? I ended up with like a list of like 35. I went from flyweight all the way to heavyweight, trying to think of anyone that would remotely qualify. And I kind of put them on, and I had a big ass list. I kept cutting it down, and I was like, fuck. I got to like 20. I was like, I don't know who the fuck to get rid of. Like, do I just make it top 20? But I was like, no, I'll yap for too long. So I made the decision, but if I go on flyweight up, Lona Kavanagh, Charles Johnson, Andre Lima, Jose Ochoa, Bantamweight, Felipe Lima, Peyton Talbot, fucking few other guys that I'm definitely missing at Bantamweight, forgive me. Featherweight, fucking Gabriel Santos, Jack Jenkins, these guys, Chepe Mariscal, these kind of, Joe Anderson Brito, lightweight, Fresiam, Ignacio Bahamondes, Matt Fravola, fucking CDF, you know, Bobby Green, these type of guys. I'm not saying all these would be like top 15. There's so many lightweights, like Nazar Hakparas, like there's lightweights retarded. I can't even name even fucking half the division right now. Welterweight, like Islam Dulatov was a consideration, but I think he needs to do it a few more times for me to put him in here. Carlos Leal, Muslim Salikov. I know some people are going to call me bugging. I still find Wonderboy quite fun to watch. Definitely not like top 20, but you know, these type of guys. Jake Matthews, like a lot of fun fighters at welterweight. Billy Goff, underrated fucking call. If you haven't rewatched it, that's actually another contender for fight of the year that no one's going to remember because it was on the prelims of UFC St. Louis. Billy Goff versus Trey Waters. in the comments, put if you don't know now you know. If you've got this far in the video and you watched that fight, because that's an underrated classic. Middleweight, like Bakoev. Don't think I forgot about Bakoev. I just need to see him do it like one more time, and then I think he's here. Like if you do it more than if you do something more than if you do something 3 or more times in a row, I can be like, alright, that's you. That's you as a fighter. I don't know if Bakov as a fighter is someone who's just laying guys out in round 1. I hope it is, but I gotta see it. So like Bakoev, Bruno Ferreira, even Shara, I do think is quite fun. Like Nasultan Ruzaboev, Ikram Aliskerov. A lot of fun guys at middleweight, you know, Jose Medina. Light heavyweight, Kutalaba's kind of like the only one outside the rankings that's fun. Heavyweight, like Volta Walker even, I'll give him a pass, honestly. And yeah, without further ado though, let's get to the number 1 spot, the champion of the Unranked Divisions Entertainment era. Who is it? Without further ado, it's Esteban Ribovics. No one should be surprised by this. This dude is legitimately fucking top 5 most entertaining fighters in the sport right now, regardless of ranking. Like, if you're telling me, would you rather watch a Ribovics fight or X fighter, I don't think I can name 10 fighters who I would put over Ribovics regardless of ranking, champions, whatever. If we're talking about stakes, whatever, but if you're saying, oh, like, you've got a live Volkanovski fight or a live Ribovics fight, you gotta miss one. What are you missing? Like, I'll miss the Ribovics fight and rewatch it after. But if you're saying like night out, you come back, bit drunk, fucking crack open another beer, watching the fight, grab a pizza, you know, you're just watching fights with the mates, whatever, eating food, drinking, you know, and you're just trying to see a scrap. Name 10 guys who you'd rather watch right now than Esteban Ribovics. Like, it's Yuri, it's Josh Van, probably. It's like, I can't even say Dricus at this point. Like, I'd rather watch a Ribovics fight than a Dricus fight at this. Like, Dricus has had fights. Dricus hasn't had fights at the level of fun as Ribovics is having recently. There's definitely guys I'm forgetting. Like, it's Gaethje and like Poirier and Max and shit. You know, those kind of guys. Maybe like a Lopez fight or something. But like, I'm telling you, Ribovics, like a Peter Yan fight, maybe. Yeah, like Yan O'Malley, I guess. But like recently, like top 10 fights in the last like 3 years, Ribovics has got fucking 3 of them or some shit. Like, I don't know. He actually does. I swear to God. The Haqparast fight, no one's just putting together this many fucking bangers in a row. Like, no one is. Who's doing this in a row? Like, just literal fight of the night. Like, the Haqparast fight was so sick. And like, the numbers this dude's putting up is insane. Like, his output is fucking crazy. I love Esteban Ribovics, dude. This dude's fun as hell. He got robbed against Nasrat. It's all good. Is he going to be top 5, top 10? Probably not. He needs his defense. Loki is fucking ass. But significant strikes landed per minute, 8.08. Brother, do you know? Do you understand what you're witnessing? 8.08 strikes per minute is fucking crazy numbers. For instance, Josh Van had the record with like 8.1. But like, this dude's numbers, listen to this, bro. Esteban Ribovics, these are the numbers he's been landing, alright? Contender series, he got a first round KO, so not many. Got taken down 11 times in his UFC debut. Still landed 66 strikes, by the way, and a knockdown. Next fight, 115 strikes. Next fight, immediate KO. Next fight, 156. Next fight, 147. Next fight, 122. He's averaging 40. Esteban Ribovics, dude. This guy is insane. Like, he's just going to keep scrapping. If we're doing next fights to make, give this dude fucking, Bahamondes or some shit, bro. I know people say, like, just do him and Duncan together. I mean, I wouldn't mind it. That'd be fun. But like, give him Bahamondes, give him fucking Moicano or something. I wouldn't mind just giving him a ranking, just because of how fun he is. Like, just give him a ranked guy, and if he loses, who gives a fuck? Like, whatever. Just give him Chandler. He'd beat Chandler's ass. He'd whoop Chandler's ass. But like, let me look at UFC stats real quick, just to further the glaze, because I was talking when Josh Van broke the record and then broke it again. That's a real thing. Joshua Van broke the UFC strikes landed per minute record, and then broke it again in like his 6th fight, and then his 7th. Like he just kept upping it, right? Where is it? Let me find it. Josh Van's got the record at 8.86. You want to know who's number 2? It's Esteban Ribovics, bro. You guessed it right. You want to know number 3? It's Tom Aspinall, who's stat padding because he's just like knocking people down and landing a bunch of follow-ups. Like that doesn't count. And the other ones are all women's fights, like Leslie Smith, Casey O'Neill, and Emily Ducote, who are just landing like not all strikes are created equal. That's all I'm saying. For instance, Max Holloway across his career is at 7.2. Alright? So, I mean, bro, shout out to fucking Joshua Van, shout out to Esteban Ribovics, 2 of my favourite fighters in the sport right now, 2 of the best output strikers in the sport right now. And anyway, that'll do it, guys. I hope you enjoyed. That like and subscribe. Long video for you today, like 40 odd minutes. Who did I miss out of, like, I'm sure I missed a few people, fucking Joe Bifer or some shit. But like, give me some other names I missed, and I'll own up if I genuinely forgot them, or if I just if they just slipped my mind when I was reading off names. Anyway, goodbye. See you later.